Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back. Today I'm going to spend some time covering mobile app development in Mendix. I'll go over the different types of apps you can build, like native mobile and progressive web apps, before going over how to decide which is better for your project. I'll also cover some important concepts like offline first development and data synchronization. To start off, Mendix offers two types of mobile app frameworks for you to choose from: native mobile and PWA. Native mobile runs natively on your device, including the user interface. No web views are used to show your screens. Because of this, native apps tend to feel fast and responsive and have full access to your device's capabilities. Developing native apps, however, is more difficult than web apps. They require native pages that cannot be reused in web apps. They require the use of specific native widgets and JavaScript-based styling. They must be compiled and installed on the target devices, for example via the native app stores, and you should always try to create a build of your native app early on in your project to familiarize yourself with this process. Native apps must be updated and redeployed at least once a year, or they risk not running on the latest versions of mobile operating systems. So make sure to pre-plan these maintenance activities accordingly. PWAs, on the other hand, are an evolution of what we consider traditional web apps. They're a blend of web and native technologies and can be accessed directly via the browser, without needing to compile or install the app. From the browser, the app can be added to the mobile device's home screen to give quick access and leverage additional capabilities, including full screen display. These capabilities include many advanced mobile features such as receiving push notifications, accessing the user's location, and interacting with the camera. PWAs automatically store the application on the device to make it accessible offline, while also updating it automatically when online. Overall, PWAs feel like native apps to the user, but they are still web apps, allowing you to reuse much of a traditional web application, including pages and styling. To sum it up, native mobile apps allow you to build the best possible apps possible. They leverage native user interfaces, allowing the smoothest possible experience for your users. And they provide full access to all of the capabilities of the mobile device, including the ability to execute custom native code. PWAs, on the other hand, make use of web-based user interfaces that can reuse existing assets and can be customized much easier to reflect your brand. Also, PWAs do not need to be built and installed, making accessing them much easier compared to native apps. While more limited than native apps, PWAs still offer a wealth of mobile capabilities. An important part of both of these technologies is offline first development. The problem with mobile development is that the devices are mobile. This means an active internet connection cannot be guaranteed, and it is important to design your app with this in mind. Both technologies ensure that the app itself, including all pages, styling, and nanoflows, can be accessed while offline. However, most apps also require a domain model to be fully functional. With offline first development, this data can be stored in a local database on the device, allowing it to be accessible offline. This data must then be synchronized between the user's mobile device and the server to keep up to date and ensure changes from the user are reflected on your server. The default synchronization works as follows for each entity that is synchronized. First, all changes made to objects of that entity are uploaded from the mobile device to the server. The server processes these changes and updates its database. Then the mobile device downloads all objects of the entity that it has access to from the server. These objects are stored in the local database after clearing out the table first. This method of syncing data works fine for many applications. However, especially with larger apps and slow network connections, it can lead to performance issues. If your app is taking long to load or experiencing long wait times when triggering the synchronize everything action, you can optimize your app's synchronization behavior in a few ways. First, reduce the number of entities that are synchronized to the device. Only entities that are really needed offline should be synchronized. Other entities should be accessed via microflows or by using the online synchronization mode available in Mendix 10.24. And second, remember to use access rules to limit access to as few objects of an entity as possible. For example, if a user only needs access to objects they created, enable the create owner system property and limit access that way. And finally, change the synchronization mode to nothing, preserve data, and use the sync to device action from a microflow to control when and what to synchronize. This can be used to synchronize only data when needed, or that the data has actual changes to be synced. To understand in more depth how offline first data and synchronization works, look up offline first data in our docs pages. And for more tips and best practices to optimize your synchronization, search best practices for mobile apps. Of course, you can always find all the related links below. That's it for this video. In the next one, I will go into detail on how to make and publish a PWA with a video on native mobile after that. Until next time, I'm Ryan Mocke and this is Hello Mendix.